Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome in to a powerful transmission, a channeled message on the fear of failure. Today's episode is going to be one of those quick, like channel transmissions that you listen to and you have like a full body energetic awakening. It's also going to be a solo episode. It's just me. Hello. I hope you guys recognize our voices by now. This is Nikki. And I always know that there's a lot of energy flowing through me when I'm like stumbling over my words and I literally can't speak fast enough. So I'm going to just take a breath. You can take one with me if you want. Just calm down, be present, release, relax, let go. And I'm going to share this channel transmission on the fear of failure for a very specific person. And I'm going to tap into the energy, the consciousness of the being that this is meant for. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to go on a journey. I have some things that are already coming through that I'm aware of that are going to come out of my mouth. And I can just drop you into a little bit of awareness of how you're going to feel by the end of this transmission. It's going to give you so much empowerment to go out and do the damn thing because you're going to have a completely new perspective on what it actually means to fail. Because think about it. There's an ego perspective of failure that a lot of us identify with unknowingly, subconsciously, that makes us feel like we're walking through tar in life. And then there's the soul perspective of failure. And I'm not going to say too much about that right now because that's what this entire transmission is going to be. But I want you to start to just tune into your own intuition. What could be the soul perspective on failure? Now that we are evolving our consciousness, evolving our awareness, how can we actually enter into a reality where we are no longer chained by the fear of failure? How can we use our higher perspective on what this reality field actually is, what our souls came here to redefine what it means to fail? Because here's the thing. We are elevating in consciousness. Every single moment of the day, we are shifting in our awareness. The entire collective is, whether they realize it or not. As we are doing this, the reason why we begin to access higher energetic states, we begin to access more of our co creator abilities, we begin to access more of our power, is because with higher awareness, the limiting perspectives that we hold, they just start to not make sense. We just start to be able to see the higher perspective where we're floating up and seeing the bird's eye view and looking down at the perceptions, the identities, the belief systems that are just not it anymore. I feel like I'll say that a lot in client sessions. I'm like, this belief is just not it anymore. And what I mean by that is that you've evolved your level of awareness to a point where that perception, that program, that identity is no longer serving you. We hold certain identities because we think they are serving us. So, for example, someone who was made fun of for being themselves throughout their childhood would hold a perspective that it is not safe to be me. So, I need to kind of shapeshift myself to become someone else to please another person. And then I'll be safe. And then I can exhale. And then I can relax. Do you see how that was a program, a belief that became almost like a safety mechanism, an adaptation? Now, I want to share with you guys that the fear of failure is a program that a lot of us took on because when we failed, something negative happened. Something quote unquote bad happened. Or maybe it was just through the school system that we learned that when you do not do something to perfection, you run the risk of being kicked out of school. You run the risk of getting an F. You run the risk of bringing a grade home to your parent where you would not, through your perception, receive as much love. If you were to get an A, then you would receive more love. It's like we start to develop this relationship to not, quote unquote, achieving the best outcome. And we start to develop programs where we adapt to prevent ourselves from ever potentially dealing with failure. So I want you guys to just tune in and intuitively think about, what kind of belief systems do you personally hold on failure? If I fail, then this happens. And now, because you are at a higher level of awareness, that thing of then this happens, you get to now check that. This is a moment to be like, let me check the validity here. Because in the past, maybe that thing actually was something that you dealt with, and it was a way to adapt because your nervous system literally couldn't handle, let's say, being judged or not receiving some sort of like love from a parental figure. Now you get to use your heightened sense of awareness, your expanded nervous system, and your perspective on this reality field, like the expanded perspective on how our souls come here to learn, how we're constantly being gifted these experiences that allow us to expand, to grow, that we literally came here to make mistakes and to pick up data and information to learn from so that we can evolve. You take all of that into account, and with your higher awareness, you get to explore the validity of the beliefs you have on failure. And if I was sitting face to face with a client right now, I would allow them to share the emotional experience that comes up with the thought of potentially failing. So you can do that for yourself right now. Just begin to feel into, ooh, if I do this and then this result happens, what am I fearing will occur? How does that feel in my body? This is where we start to explore the outdated ego perspective on failure. Because one of the most common perspectives that we will have on failure is that if we fail, we will get judged, we'll be kicked out of the tribe, and we'll be on our own. It's actually a very primal subconscious perception to hold on failure. But we are evolving, we're shifting in awareness, we're allowing ourselves to free ourselves from the perspectives that are just not it. They're just not in alignment anymore. They're no longer serving us. And I say that they're no longer serving us because, again, there was a chapter in your life where there actually was this perceived threat towards going out there and doing something to the fullest. And now you get to ask yourself, okay, thank you, perception. Thank you, belief. Thank you, adaptation. Do I want to continue to subscribe to a reality where this is like my code? If I was an AI robot and I was checking all the programs, would this be one that I want to keep? How is this actually playing out for me in my life? What is the effect of me holding on to this limitation, this program? Don't fail because this will happen. Oh, okay. This is a program in my mind. Do I want to keep this? I want you to really ask yourself and tune into the wisdom that's coming through your heart. If the answer is no, you're ready to dissolve a subconscious belief and a subconscious program that is simply not it. It's holding you back. It's holding you back. I'm going to just tell you straight up. It's fucking holding you back. And we're ready to release it. And we're going to do it with compassion because look at how much it served you. Now I want you to look at the ways that it's not serving you. What are some soul desires that are coming to the surface right now that you're like, ooh, this is what I came here to freaking do. I want to go live. I want to go travel. I want to post this on my Instagram. I want to launch this business. I want to do this. What is the thing that your heart is like, let's fucking go? Is that program serving that mission? Is that program serving that mission? Ask yourself this. Be really freaking honest with yourself right now. There's a mission in your heart. There's a desire. There's something that your soul is calling you into. And it wants you to go full freaking send. So let's start talking about that soul perspective on failure. Because now we're starting to understand the ego perspective, right? It's saying, ooh, we can't fail. We can't try new things. Stay in the familiar. Stay in the comfortable. And let me tell you, what the ego is defining as comfortable is not actually comfortable. It's just familiar. It thinks it's comfortable because it's familiar. But if you're listening to this podcast, you came here to expand, you came here to experience, you came here to create, you came here to grow, you came here to really play in this infinite realm of possibility. So now that you know this, let's start talking about the soul perspective on failure. And I can literally already feel the energy coming through. I'm just going to take a sip of water. And before we dive into the soul perspective, I want you guys to think about yourself as like 95 years old. And you were like a few years away from being on your way out. And let's say you didn't do anything differently and you were to just age and be 95 right now. And someone's talking to you and they're saying, what's that one thing that you just wish you went even harder in? The one thing that you wish you went full fucking send on. And then you're 95 years old, reflecting back to your life at those subtle ways that you held yourself back. Now, this is not going to be your reality. There's just no way. You're tuned into this energy. You're tuned into this episode. You're in the world of Om. You're just not going to be that 95-year-old that's thinking this. So we're doing this exercise to just pinpoint what are those things that your soul's like, let's freaking go, baby. Let's do this even more. Let's just go full fucking send because why not? I want you to think about that as we discuss the soul perspective on failure. Just bring that to the forefront of your mind. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's 3 things, maybe it's 20 things. Maybe if you have 20 things, just focus on like 1 to 2 right now. And I want you to think about you going full freaking send into that. Like the energy of, I don't give a F. Like if this was all just one big dream, one big illusion, I didn't give a shit what people thought about me, how would I show up? And I want you to think about yourself taking that action or doing that thing or embodying that state of being. And just imagine yourself showing up in that way. And then all of a sudden, this fear is going to come up. Yeah, but like, what if this doesn't unfold that way? Yeah, but what if you put yourself out there and then this happens? Okay, play that out now. What if that does happen? That right there, that experience is not something to be feared. The ego is looking at that experience like it's death. The soul is looking at that experience like, hell freaking yeah, we're going to grow even more. When you lean in and take an action, like there's something that your soul is calling you to take action on, and the the fear of potential failure arises, the soul perspective is looking at all possible outcomes and saying, yes, 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 yes. The ego is saying, yes, no, 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 no. That's the one thing that has to unfold. So when we come to take that action, it's like we're being asked to let fucking go, to release, to literally release. As you take that action, take an exhale and let go. And I want you to feel into the infinite possibilities of what if it unfolds even better than you could have ever imagined? What if your mind literally can't comprehend what is on the other side of you going full send? And I'm going to give you a hint. It literally can't. It literally cannot. And also, what if something happens that like isn't the most ideal preferred outcome? Oh, if I understand that literally everything happens for a reason and that the world is always conspiring in my favor, the universe is always conspiring in my favor, God is always conspiring in my favor, how could I ever be in an outcome that wasn't meant to happen? How can I ever go full send, take an action, and land somewhere that I'm not meant to be? This is the soul perspective on quote unquote failure. The word literally holds no weight. It just is. The outcome just is. And guess what? It's literally an outcome built for your soul's evolution. Can we take a moment to honor the divinity of how freaking beautiful life is with the way that, guys, this energy, oh my God, the way that life unravels. These messages are always coming through so freaking strong. And I know whoever is tuned into this is like, this is literally meant for my soul. I'm eating this shit up right now. Yeah, because I'm speaking to your soul. I am. I'm literally speaking directly to your soul. How could there ever be an outcome that we are not supposed to be in? I want you guys to think about something in your past that would have been in the moment, something that felt like a failure, and look where it brought you. And there's another perspective on failure where you actually see that it is the most information rich place that you can be in. There is literally no other place to learn as much as you will besides being in the freaking experience. And if you guys are into human design, I have a 3 in my profile, which is the experimenter. Like literally, I'm here to learn through just doing, experimenting, trying things out. And the shadow of this number in your profile is that you kind of have like a sense of shame with trying things and maybe not going all the way with them. And it's like you're really meant to just kind of go full send and pick up the data and information as you do that. And I have learned just being on this soul journey of having a 3 in my profile to really redefine my relationship to what failure actually is. Because your soul wants you to jump into the experience. It wants you to just try, to just go. It doesn't care what happens because it knows that wherever you land is exactly what you need to pick up data, to expand, and to go into the next chapter, the next timeline, the next level of your expansion. So, what would it look like for you to just literally drop all of those fears? And if you feel like you can't drop them, what would it even look like for you to go full send while they're by your side? While those fears are just present? Can you hold them with love without even needing them to change? Can you see that they were there for a reason while also understanding that you're the higher awareness that gets to carry them through? You are the one in the driver's seat. How will you take action? How will you put your whole freaking heart behind what it is you're doing and have so much fun knowing that this is what you came here to play with? This is literally all one big made up illusionary game. I know that can sound dark to some people, but for me, that just gives me so much freedom to like literally go make up my own rules and freaking play this game. Have fun, expand, serve, share my heart, be who I am. Let go of the voice that's like, you gotta say it this way and do it this way, and no one's gonna like you. Like, we're done with that. We're good. You're good. You're literally more than good. You're fucking amazing. Like the thing that you want to provide, the thing that you want to give, the way that you want to be, the way that you want to show up, it's coming from your soul. It's such an authentic energy that wants to be touched by other people. Other people want to feel that frequency. And what a shame to hold it back because of that fear of how it's going to be received. I want you guys to think about someone that you admire the hell out of, whether it be an artist, someone that has created some sort of service or product that you're like, wow, holy crap, this thing is changing my life. Or like think about an artist that where you listen to their music and you're like, oh my goodness, this song just like unlocked something within me. Now I want you to think if that person held themselves back for the fear of failure. That would suck. That would fucking suck. Because we wouldn't get to taste the authentic vibration and the essence of who they are. And that's the thing. The ego thinks that doing the thing is about the actual thing itself. So it gets all wrapped up in what that means about us if we fail and we make an identity and a story around the thing. But it's the energy, it's the frequency, it's the transmission that wants to be felt by other people. And you're the conduit that it wants to go through. We get so caught up in the fear of failure when we're making the thing about our 3D self. It is your soul wanting to come alive. What does failure even mean in that realm? Seriously, like where does it even have its place? I feel like it literally just dissolves and doesn't even make sense to bring that into this. Think about Westworld. They like pay to go into this immersive experience. They pick what character they're going to be. Is there any such thing as failure in that world? Literally, no. Even the quote unquote bad guys have their place in the experience. They are all suiting our awakening. The villains in our story are here to wake us up to our freaking power. There is literally no way you can get any of this wrong. You are already fulfilling your soul mission just by simply existing here right now. So, can you just take a big exhale and understand that even you going out there and doing the damn thing with this energy and the release of the fear of failure isn't actually changing who you are as a being? And you're still going to fulfill every single mission that you came here to fulfill just for simply existing. So I want you guys to bring up that thing that came to you in the visual of like, ooh, this is the thing that I'm feeling the calling to even go harder in. And it's a kind of a paradox here because when I'm saying go harder, it can actually be something that you are trusting more in and like releasing more. I want to add that in here because like I can feel the person that's like, ooh, actually, I'm being called to like release and trust more. In what ways are you gripping because you're fearing failure? Where can you reclaim your energy back to actually be in flow and be a conduit because of the fear of failure dissolving? Where is it that you are putting an energy of fear into something that doesn't actually need fear? Because we understand every single thing plays out exactly how it's meant to. I want to address this part because this is also important. Sometimes it's not like the go freaking hard, send it, unhinged energy. It's like, ooh, where can I actually release and let go of? Where can I trust that there's this beautiful energy flowing through me that just wants to be expressed? Where can I trust that I will be so held as I do that? Where can I create safety in my body in knowing that whatever outcome happens, I will still be okay? Let's talk about that for a second. You are at a level of awareness where you have learned to self regulate. I don't care what level of nervous system expansion you think you're at. You are at a level of awareness where you can self regulate, even if it takes a freaking month or a year. You're on a journey of understanding that when your nervous system expands because you do something new or you're taking in a higher energy, that you have the ability to observe that. You have the ability to literally tap into your breath and remind yourself of how eternally safe you are. This is another thing with the fear of failure. Our mind, our ego, our subconscious literally holds this perception and belief that we will not be okay if we reach an outcome that isn't desirable. We are creating safety from within our body. We are expanding our nervous system to hold every single potential. And when we allow ourselves to really seep into that safety from within, and even just do that now before I continue, just like look around, feel into your body, notice how safe and held you are in any way you can. Even if it's just feeling the feet, the floor beneath your feet. Like right now for me, I'm sitting on this chair and I'm literally feeling into how held I am by this universal energy. The illusion is that safety is found in the result. The result is beautiful. It's inevitable. The safety, the feeling you're seeking of the exhale is actually found by you initiating that yourself. So now that we know that, again, where does the fear of failure play into this? If we know that we can create safety from within, are we going to be okay if an outcome occurs that wasn't the planned outcome? Yes. I want you to reflect on all of the times that something occurred in your life where you literally thought, this is the end. I'm not going to be okay. What happened in that moment? Did you expand? Did you literally wake the F up to who you truly are? Or maybe just you were okay. You ended up being okay. And if you're like, no, there was something I went through and I'm not okay, I honor that. But also feel into your breath right now. Feel into the fact that you are alive. And better yet, you are more than alive. You're listening to this podcast and your awareness has been evolving at a rapid rate. And I'm going to guess that that thing actually propelled you forward to be at this point of even being able to listen and comprehend the energy behind what I'm saying. You have and always will be okay. The ego, it's constantly in fear of dying. The soul is eternal. Eternal. Can you feel into the power of that? Like, bitch, we're not going anywhere. That may scare some people. How would you show up if you knew that you were a limitless eternal being that could do anything? What kind of energy would you infuse into the way that you move through life? What are the things that you would go out there and go full send on? How would you respond and react to the part of yourself that is holding you back? Hint, give them love, give them compassion. We're not living in the David Goggins self help world. We're not pushing and punishing that part of ourselves because everything that we just talked about is highlighting how that part of ourself, it had its reasons. When we're functioning at a lower level of consciousness and literally believing, I will not be okay, I will be judged, I will be kicked out of the tribe. These primal programs. Of course, we're not going to do the damn thing because failure means we're going to freaking die. Can we honor that for a second? Can we honor the part of you that's like, I literally feel so scared to do this? I'm speaking to you with love and like really kind of like edging you out of your comfort zone. But also there's like this deep feeling of compassion because I fucking get it. Like I understand that feeling. And it is still something that I am holding with so much love in my own life. But I'm telling you guys, the people who are like magnetizing the life of their freaking dreams are not people that are magic beyond like what you are. How can I word this in a way that hits? They're not people that have these superpowers. We all have superpowers. So that's not even a good way to say it. They're not more magical than you. How about that? They've just redefined their relationship to the discomfort of potential failure or just of failure. When you think about the people that you admire and you're like, damn, they are just freaking full send going into a life of magic. First of all, think about the ways that you're already doing that and just celebrate yourself. But also, it is the redefining of your perception on failure. It is expanding the amount of discomfort you can hold. It is knowing that you are so freaking held no matter what the outcome is. You will be okay. You will be okay. Those people that are out there doing the damn thing, they are not more powerful than you. They're not more magical than you. We are literally these insane beings that can shapeshift reality. You are a powerful being that literally has the ability to render a different reality around you based off of the belief systems that you hold and dissolving them and entering into your natural state of being that just is. You are a magnetic being for just simply existing. I've been talking about this so much on my Instagram page because it's this massive awakening that I've been going through. You don't really have to do much to like tap into a state of magnetism. It's more of a release of who it is you're not. because you are inherently abundant. You are inherently magnetic. You are inherently whole. So when you're thinking about doing the damn thing and stretching out of your comfort zone, it is the rawest, most authentic, just truest version of you that wants to be expressed outward. It's more in the release of who your ego thinks they are. It's in the exhale where you're able to just take that step forward and your authentic energy is just inevitably going to shine through. It is. It's just how it works. And yeah, maybe sometimes it takes a little bit of like trying and collecting the data and picking it up, but who gives a fuck? We got the time. We got the time. I'll wait. You're good. You're good. You are so good. You are more than good. You are freaking magnetic and amazing. So, what does failure now mean to you? How can you actually embrace it and honor the things that it provides you? I made a post on my Instagram the other day. The ego fears failure while the soul longs for the power in its expansion. How can we actually get excited about it? Ooh, I'm going to try something and then pick up data and wisdom. Amazing. Slay, bitch. Just go. Just go full send. And now pick up the perspective that failure is actually something that is for you. It's actually something that's here to help you evolve. And before we end this transmission, I want to share with you guys that you literally came here to grow and expand. How do we grow? Think about it. By just going out there and doing it. How do we learn? By freaking doing it. How are you ever going to pick up the data and the information if you don't even try? Be in it for the long-term game. Be in it for the long-term vision. Are we magical beings that things can drop in overnight and we can manifest realities with a freaking snap of a finger? Yes. Are we also functioning in this 3D reality where sometimes there's a journey? And I want you to think about, what if that journey could actually be fun if you let it be? What if the journey of evolving and growing and shifting and learning and picking up the data and all of these beautiful things could actually be fun? Like, what if that's literally what we came here to do? And what if we redefined this journey as something that is actually playful? And it didn't have to be so do or die, literally. Welcome this energy into your life and welcome into the next chapter of your life, because this message was meant for you. You were meant to hear this. Your soul that came here to learn, to evolve. And sometimes that involves going into an outcome that didn't feel like it was the original plan. And sometimes the outcome actually turns out better than what your mind could have originally imagined, because it was beyond what your limitations were allowing you to perceive. And that's always cool. When you wake up and there's like this manifestation where you're like, holy crap, I did not see this one coming. This is cool. So let's go full send, baby. Get ready. New chapters are unfolding. If you're inside of the Oasis, definitely go listen to the March energy reading. And I'm so glad that you guys listened to this transmission. Definitely feel free to hit me up on the gram, send me a voice note or a message on how this landed for you. If you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment below. What is the thing that you are going full send in? Let's share. Let's talk about it. If you're listening on Spotify, I'll leave a prompt and you guys can answer there. And just claim this for yourself. Failure is not what we think it is. It's an opportunity for our greatest expansion. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next week. All right. Love you. Bye.